ladies and gentlemen of the media. First of all, let me wish you all a very happy New Year. I'm delighted to welcome President Abdullah Yameen on his first state visit to our country. I had the privilege of receiving him in Delhi in August last year, and we are deeply honored that he has chosen India as his first destination as President of Maldives. I cannot think of a more apt beginning to the new year than to welcome back in our midst the newly elected President of a very close and friendly neighbor with whom we also share very many vital interests. In our discussions this morning, I congratulated President Yameen on his victory and the people of Maldives for a successful, peaceful election that has consolidated democracy in Maldives and paved the way for reconciliation, stability, and continued economic and social progress. As two close neighbors, the development aspirations and security interests of India and Maldives are closely linked. President Yameen and I have agreed that our cooperation is indispensable for the maritime security of our two countries and essential for promoting peace, prosperity, and security in the Indian Ocean region. We are also conscious of the need to remain vigilant against terrorism, and we share remain sensitive to each other's concerns and not allow our territories to be used by any inimical quarters. We have agreed on a number of initiatives to strengthen bilateral defense and security cooperation, including through training, supply of equipment, capacity building, joint patrolling, and aerial and maritime surveillance. We are also deepening our trilateral maritime security cooperation with Sri Lanka, and we look forward to expanding it to other countries in the Indian Ocean. India is ready to provide further assistance and support to Maldives in strengthening our collective ability to address our shared security challenges. President Yameen and I discussed ways and means of expanding our economic relations. Our bilateral trade is around rupees 700 crores and the balance is overwhelmingly in India's favor. I would like to see a more balanced growth in our bilateral trade, and we will certainly do all we can to encourage the flow of Indian tourists to Maldives. Increase in Indian investments in Maldives would also contribute to expansion of our economic relations. In this context, I requested President Yameen to amicably settle the issue of Malé International Airport and address the problems that some of our investors are facing. As part of immediate measures, India is extending a standby credit facility of $25 million to Maldives for imports from India. We have also agreed to meet the requirements of petroleum products in Maldives and have asked our agencies to work out the best possible terms and arrangements. We will continue to further develop our development partnership, including in areas such as education and health. People-to-people contacts should be characterized by the natural ease of movement that befits two close neighbors. Our air connectivity has improved, and we have also agreed to liberalize our visa regimes, especially for those coming from Maldives for medical treatment. We also discussed our cooperation in global and regional forums. As members of SAARC, we agreed to continue to work for a more integrated and connected South Asia. I also expressed our appreciation to President Yamin for his country's steadfast support to India's candidature for a permanent membership of an expanding UN Security Council. In conclusion, let me say that India is committed to supporting peace, stability, and progress in Maldives. I am confident that under President Yamin's distinguished leadership, Maldives will be able to fulfill the aspiration of its citizens and play its due role in the region, thereby opening a new chapter in our bilateral relations. I thank you.
I now request the President of Maldives to make his media remarks.
Distinguished Prime Minister of India, distinguished delegates of Indian delegation, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On this new year, let me extend felicitations from the people of Maldives to the people of India and also the leaders of India. As you observe, the first day of New Year, I'm spending not with my people, I'm spending with India. The Indian hospitality since my delegation arrived yesterday, has been unparalleled. India has always been there during times of call from Maldives. Maldives has relied on India for almost every need. Maldives has been assisted during the time of 1988 terrorist attack, mercenary attack. India has also assisted us during the time of tsunami. If you look at this array of assistance that India has given us, it's not only humanitarian, resource building, also in terms of military and defense assistance. The trust we have on India, the commitment my government gives to Indian government, I would like to express strong support of our government to maintaining Indo-Maldives relationship. Indo-Maldives relationship is about to commemorate 50 glorious years of existence. During these 50 years, we have learned from each other. We have shown to the world a country as diverse as India is, a country as great as India is, and a neighborly country as small as Maldives is. Respecting mutual dignity, respecting the laws of each country, and respecting sovereignty of each country, the relationship that exists with India and Maldives is indeed phenomenal. I think these are lessons neighboring countries may want to learn. India has assisted Maldives in times of need, as I have recalled earlier. But India continues to assist us in all areas of development. My visit to India yesterday is an accomplished visit. We have had a very healthy exchange of views, a very healthy exchange of issues, and I'm deeply satisfied that already I'm proud to say that my delegation's visit to India has been accomplished. We have exchanged several areas of interest to both countries, areas of interest to only Maldives. But in all these cases, Indian Prime Minister, Indian government has extended to us Indian support. I have come to India at a very difficult time to the Maldivian people. Maldivian economy at this point in time is impoverished. We have a daunting task ahead of us. We have ambitious programs. I will be meeting for lunch the Indian commerce and industry entrepreneur. While I like to assure the Indian corporate India the immense opportunities that exist for Indian entrepreneurs to come and invest in Maldives, I'm also mindful of the difficult times we have had with some of the Indian companies in the past. as I exchanged with the Prime Minister just a while ago, we are willing to work out a mutually amicable solution. And it is our sincere hope that out of a partnership, both partners should be happy. That is the only way forward for any mutual sustainable economic cooperation. I have come to India at a time of great need for Maldivian people. Anticipation from my visit is high. The enormity of task that lies ahead of my government should be presented to the media, both Maldivian and Indian. Having said that, I'm also happy that Indian authorities, especially the Indian Prime Minister, has expressed his readiness to support Maldives in every way possible. It is not only military exchanges. It is not only maritime security. Yes, we have agreed on those. We have commonalities, we have common interests in those. It is my belief, as is the belief of Indian Prime Minister, that the maritime security of this region is of utmost importance to India, Maldives, and the countries facing the Indian Ocean. So it would be best left to countries in this region to resolve these matters. So I have assured the Indian Prime Minister and the Indian government that we share the views of Indian government on this issue. On the issue of conservatism, we are concerned as well. Maldives face different challenges. Maldives is a resource-impoverished country. But Maldives has a great heart as well. Maldives has a trainable, young, educated workforce. It is my belief that the task entrusted to me by the Maldivian people during this election has been bringing one of satisfaction to the Maldivian youth, who happens to employ over 52% of our population. So it is with this mission that I have come to my closest neighbor, India. India has always extended its support to Maldives. We will be coming to India time and time again. The readiness on the part of Indian government has been awesome. And I'm confident, the Indo-Maldives relationship is going to prosper in the future. We may have had rough patches in the past, but it is the commitment of my administration, commitment of the Council of Ministers, that we look forward to a strong, healthy working relationship with the Indian enterprise. Any enterprise between two governments, between two people, necessarily can be successful only if there is connectivity and sincerity on the part of the two people. It is in this context that on my mission I have requested for people-to-people contact and to understand Indians more closely, and for Indians to understand Maldivians more closely. It is our desire, it is our want to come to India. And similarly, likewise, we would like to reciprocate Indian hospitality to Indians who come to Maldives. So it is with this regard, with this in mind, on my mind, I have requested Indian authorities, and graciously my hosts have agreed to relax the visa difficulties we have. When we look at inwards into our own region, SAARC, we know this is a resource-rich area. Over 1 billion people are inhabiting this part of the world. Leaders, economists, renowned politicians have come from this region. We would like India to show leadership in all our SAARC endeavors. India has supported Maldives in our candidatures in international forums. We are reciprocating. I have confirmed my commitment, my administration's commitment, to support all Indian candidatures. We believe we have a bound destiny. We believe the kinship that exists between India and Maldives is there for a long, long time to come. And it is our hope that this kinship is going to be a rewarding experience. I fondly recall during the most difficult times 2 years or so back, during 2012, the troubled times we had domestically in Maldives. India has come to our rescue at that time. India was the first country to acknowledge the legitimacy of the government, the change of hands during that time. India has salvaged Maldivian reputation and regime at that time. India has always been mindful of Maldivians managing Maldivian internal politics, and we are particularly grateful for Indian authorities for the issue, for the stance taken on these matters. We have shown to the world, we have shown to the first world countries, what they have taught us in their universities can be best practiced in our domestic affairs by Maldivians. I think the international community should be mindful of this fact. We have resourceful people. We have resourceful people who are dedicated to our cause. While we know that in Maldives is a very small country, we would like all the countries who are big and small, who are close and not so close, to treat us with dignity. India clearly has shown that India recognizes Maldives' sovereignty, and India has always been supportive of our stance. We would like to show to the international community that Maldives can manage their affairs just as much as those countries can manage their affairs. The only difficulty Maldives lands in is not in trying to manage their internal affairs. The only difficulty Maldives faces in trying to manage its resources. We are a resource-impoverished country. India has resources. India is a leading country in the developing world. India has resources, not only natural, human resources, expertise, and plenty of experience. So this is why we rely so heavily on India for support. Indian support has always been forthcoming, wholeheartedly and magnanimously, and we are particularly appreciative of Indian support to us. While we have had slight differences in the past, my regime, my government, my administration is committed to resolving all of these issues. We know that, we recall fondly, that the relationship India-Maldives has cannot be matched by the relationship that we can have with any other country. So it is this assurance I would like to give to the friendly people, fraternal people of India, as well as the Indian leadership. We like to come to Maldives out of desire, out of need as well. Seeds of learning in India is in abundance. We are a small country. We are a country that is deprived of resources. And that is why here again on this visit, I have reiterated my government's desire to the Indian authorities that these be relaxed, visa regulations be relaxed, and help us in human resource building. India has championed in human resource building in health sectors, also education sectors. Today we have signed 3 important agreements, 2 in the field of health cooperation, and the other one is testimony to the great diplomatic relations we have. We two countries, we two governments have agreed to exchange plots of land where chancelleries can be built. What more symbol, what more monument can be there for lasting diplomatic relations between two countries? And it is our sincere hope, it is my sincere hope that these chancelleries are built soon and their work will be forthcoming our relationship. As I have said earlier, my trip to India has already been accomplished. I have come with a long shopping list, and I have not been disappointed. My delegation has not been disappointed. Happily note that Indian Prime Minister and Indian delegation has very generously extended all the support for which I have come. My people are enthusiastic for what I will be bringing back from India to them. In times of need, as I have said earlier, India has always been there for us. Yes, we have agreed on a standby credit facility. India has very graciously agreed to relieve some of the most difficult, most challenging problems at this point in time. Here we are talking at immediate term problems, like the energy crisis. India has very kindly agreed to consider and look at the possibility of providing petroleum products from Bharat Petroleum Company close to Maldives. This is going to tremendously help our economy. This is going to improve our balance of payment problems. And this is going to tremendously bring down the cost of energy in Maldives. Maldivian economy is propelled by energy. Maldivian debt is petroleum is largely responsible for Maldivian debt. So I hope the generous assistance that India has given, even if you take just one particular area alone, in the area of petroleum products alone itself, my trip justifies why I am here in India on the first day of a new year. In conclusion, while I reiterate the confidence in the Indian authorities in helping Maldives at all times, as they have done in the past, as we commemorate 50 years of an extended very cordial relationship. It is my sincere hope, and it has been the hope expressed by the Prime Minister just a while ago to me. We will continue to hold this very dear, very cherished relationship. India can help us in many areas, not diplomatically only, resource building, human resource building, manpower building, capacity building, all of these areas. When I meet with the Indian business community this afternoon at lunch, it will be my pleasure to invite Indian enterprises to Maldives. So we are looking forward to having a very extended Indo-Maldives relationship. We hope that this relationship is going to stay for several more years to come. As a popular vocalist has said, in times of need, friends are there for each other. What are friends for? In times of need, in sickness and in health, India-Maldives relationship is going to prosper. I wish you all a very good year, and I wish Indo-Maldives relationship an excellent, brilliant future. And I'm concluding by inviting the Indian Prime Minister. Please give me an opportunity to reciprocate the hospitality you have extended to me and my delegation. And I look forward to receiving the Indian Prime Minister on Maldivian soil. Thank you very much.
Well, I have gratefully accepted the invitation of His Excellency, the President of Maldives.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister.